Hello, hello. Who's here? I'm a little bit early, but I wanted the notice to go out that I'm live because a lot of people don't come in until they get that go live. But I see there's one here. So who is here? We're going to do some tassels tonight. Look at all this embroidery thread that I have. And I've had this since my son was about 2 years old, and he's 40 years old now. And I've had this embroidery thread all this time. I used to have a craft business. Hey, Clint. Welcome. So I've had this for about 38 years, and I have boxes of it that are still full. Here's black. I don't know that any of it's even been used. I've had it forever. And I can't. Hi, Debbie V. I can't bring myself to get rid of it. This stuff is so old. This is vintage. Definitely vintage embroidery thread, but I thought we could use some of it in the tassels tonight. So we're going to make tassels, Debbie. And I don't know, have you been to one of my craft and grab sessions? So at the end of the session, and we'll go about 2 hours, we'll draw a winner, and that winner will get to pick one of the items that we made tonight in the session. And I send it out, no postage. I send it out free. So we will do that. I have got, besides embroidery thread, let me show you the kind of stuff I have for tassels. I've got some fibers. This is really cool stuff. This is a green with some like goldish colors. I'm going to find where it comes out here. It's just really cool. There we go. Really cool fibers. That would be cool in a tassel. I've got some like aqua blue, and it's got eyelash trim woven into it. So we've got that. I've got some fabric ribbon that I tore into little strips that we can use. Oh, hey, April, welcome. I'm just going over some of the stuff I have to use tonight. I've got this purple ribbon. I've got some ladder trim. And we'll get started here in just a minute. Oh, I've got some of these little pearls that are kind of a pinkish lavender color. I've got some of this, and I don't remember who sells this. Who did I get this from? There's no return address on the pack. Oh, wait a minute. Penny. This came from Penny Pudge. So I've got this stuff, which is really cool. I've got some eyelash trim. I've got more fabric down here. Look at this. This is I will be selling this stuff too, but it's a real like a velour kind of a thread. And then I've got a whole bucket of lace behind me so we can put laces in. And then I also have a box of fabric. A box of fabric that I can tear into strips. So I've got all kinds of stuff. So let's get started making the first one because I want to make several tonight, and we'll go no more than 2 hours. And then we'll do our drawing. So, this is audience participations. So what colors should we make our first tassel? What do you guys think? I'm looking for, I know that I also have a brand new spool of white pearls, and for the life of me, I can't find it. So pick a color, somebody. Let's figure out what color we want to use. You love fibers, Clint? Well, good. I have glue on my fingers, so I'll be picking at stuff. Somebody pick a color. Hey, look at these, you guys. Look what I made earlier today. These are rub-ons that I've had forever. They're little vinyl rub-ons. And I put them on fabric and tore them up. So I now have these little numbers. Aren't those cool? Summer and spring colors. Okay, we can do that. So now I usually make, oh, hey, Manon. Is it Manon? If I'm pronouncing it wrong, if you would phonetically, green for spring. Okay. Well, we'll go, April kind of looked for summer and spring, so we'll include green in it, but I'll use, you know, lots of spring colors. So I usually make my tassels about 6 inches long to like fit on the back of a journal. So about that long. Do you guys want it 6 inches long or should we make it longer? So we'll have some pink in there too, Debbie, for the spring. So I think we're going with kind of some spring colors. I've got these little fibers here that we'll use. How long? Should we do a 6-inch? Or should I make it longer? What do you guys think? Hey, Diane, welcome. We're just getting started on our first tassel. We've decided springy colors. Someone wanted green, some wanted pink, and then April said just spring colors in general. So we're going to do a combination on this first one. 6 is good. Okay. So what I do is take all my stuff and measure out 12 inches because we're going to fold it in half. So we're going to go, I'll go just a little bit longer. Okay, so here's the start of our tassel. We've got this. Now we definitely need some lace in there if it's going to be a spring tassel. And I have some really inexpensive laces that I need to use up. So we'll put a few of those in there. There's some lace. Let's see if I have a different one than that. Let's see what I've got here for laces. Oh, I've got this pretty one. These I got in an estate sale. They're inexpensive laces. Love that pink chenille looking. Yeah, I don't know if it is chenille or what, but yeah, it's pretty. And it's really soft. So there we go. There's a couple pieces of lace. I wish I could find those pearls that I bought because those would be pretty in there too, but I don't know where they went. I was going to look for those earlier today and then I forgot about it. Ooh, look at this ribbon. This is pretty. For a springy. Now I also want to get some other fibers in here. Should I put a little blue? Should I put some of this? What do you guys think of this? Is it too much or should I put some of this blue fiber in here too? You guys tell me, and I'm going to get out another. I have this huge bag. Oh, well, I definitely have this baby blue. So we'll do pops of color would be great. Okay. And we'll put in some of this baby blue. Well, so you haven't done a craft and grab. Hey, Misty. I'm just pulling together our first one. We're going for springy colors. So let's do a piece of this. Okay, here's what we have so far. I think we need a little more color. And so I think maybe another piece of this. I thought I had a different blue one. I think another one of these blue ones. Yeah. Okay. Is that enough for our first one, or is there any, you want another piece of this ribbon? Should we have two of those? Two of something else? I've got pretty much one of everything except for that bright blue and then this baby blue yarn. What do you guys think? More of something? Or do you like that? I need to get this. I need to separate these two blue ones. They're too close together. Too pink and more pastel. Okay, we can do that. We'll do one more pink. And I'll lay these all out again once I... Let me see what else I have in this. Now, let me tell you guys something that I do. When I go to thrift stores, I buy scarves like this, and then I cut them into strips. So you can definitely do that. I've got all kinds of strips in here. Ooh. How about a little bit of that? And that's just a scarf that I cut down. So we'll put a little bit of that, and let's see what else I might have in here. Here's some white eyelash trim. I actually think I want to double that. Yes, love that orange scarf. I know, isn't that pretty? I'm always on the lookout for scarves because they charge like $1 for them. They're not expensive. And there's a little white eyelash trim. So I think that's a pretty good tassel right there. Let me get all the pieces lined up again, and then we'll tie it up, and then we'll put some charms or something on it. So I'm going to lay it out here. This and this. This ribbon's a little stiff, so I'm just going to crinkle it up some. There we go. That's better. And that, I've got a piece of this, got a piece of this, two of those. I've got two of these. I've got two different laces. And I've got a green, and I've got two of these little two little pieces of this. Hang on, I think I might have one more thing to put in here. Oh, and then I just had some white eyelash trim. Where'd that go? And I have my, I'm missing a couple of things. Here's one of these. wet eyelash. Okay. I just had to so that I'm an absent-minded crafter. Never thought about sharing in tassels. Yes, hey Rhonda. But I have some white eyelash trim and I set it down somewhere. Do you think I can find it? No. I have more. Never fear, I have more. Over. So those together. Let me cut them off at the end to be a little closer. Now, I do one of two things. I either non-robotic voice. No, the cable guy was out today, and there's a break in our cable that they were running, and so they fixed it today. So my internet should be. Oh, oh no, I am. Oh, hang on, let me go out of YouTube and come back. Is this any of you guys? Better? My shard looks fine. Can you hear? I'm where I can reboot. Are you guys hearing me? All right, ladies, I am back. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I think after the cable guy was out, I did not restart my computer, and I think it probably just didn't have a. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So the scarf idea I was showing is when I go to thrift stores, I mean, they charge like $1 for a scarf. And so I'll get a scarf, like for example, here's a scarf that I bought, and then I'll cut strips off of it to use for tassels. Ooh, there's some nice eyelash trim. I should use some of that. Like this scarf right here that's real gauzy. So I just buy scarves and tear them up for. One sec. There we go. All right. So we've got our first tassel. What I was saying when I went all robotic was that let's see who's come in. Shelly, hi Shelly, and Debbie or Wendy, Papered Rooster, and Valerie. Thanks you guys for coming. So here's one, and then we'll put some fun stuff on it. But this is our springy colors. What do you guys think? It's got some blue. It's got some or like a peachy color in there. So I do these two different ways. One, I will just tie a string around and like leave a loop up here that I can attach something to, or I use wire. But I'm gonna, for this one, I'm just going to tie it with a bow. I can find the end of this. This is embroidery thread. Lovely, yeah. And then I've got some bulb pins that we can use too. And actually, here's another way to do this, is to tie it over the top first so you have something to connect the bulb pin to. So I'm just going to put a double knot in there. Now, the problem with just leaving it like that is that it doesn't really, I guess it's okay as a tassel, but I like to also, I'm got a tangled mess here. I should use something else. There we go. So then once I have that tied at the top, then I'll go and tie around, and I'll wrap it around a couple of times. So who was saying, show us all the ways so you learn the tricks? Okay, I will. I'll show you some different ways that I do it. And you can make that a bow, or you can just, tie it. And that way you get this little, you end up with this little kind of knot up here at the top. And then because I tied a string through that, I can take either a bulb pin or a jump ring or something. I use one of these gold ones because I don't use gold a lot in my, I can take that, hook it through, and there you go. Now, we haven't put any charms or anything on this yet, but there's a pretty little tassel. Isn't that pretty? For a nice spring journal. So let's look at, ooh, Wendy, I'm glad you're here. Look at, I have these beads that I just got from you. And I love them. So what I'm going to do is take, these are little pink, square pink beads. I'm going to put it through the bead. Oh, I'm going to have to get a needle to do that one. I'm not going to do that one right now. I'll do that when I can get a needle out. I also have charms, and I've got a box of miscellaneous stuff in here. Here are some beads that somebody sent me, and there's pink in there. Here's some kind of purpley iridescent stuff. This is where you can also use your old jewelry that you might have. There's a gold hoop. And then I've also got, oh, where's my other box? I've got a box of charms. Well, I've got this that is my Bits and Bobs box. Nope, that's not it. That's something else. Here are some charms. So let's see if we can find some. Ooh, how about a little butterfly in this one? I think that would be cute. Got a little tree of life. Sucks getting old. Oh boy, isn't that the truth? My husband and I were just talking about that the other day. I was so excited yesterday, you guys. I worked for probably 3-4 hours in the kitchen making homemade habanero salsa and canning it. And I didn't have to sit down once. I had no pain in my knee. It was perfect for my knee surgery. And I was on top of the world, I'm telling you what. Okay, so you can do this, like I said, a couple of ways. Everything can be done more than one way. So one way is to find one of your small strings. And if you know you're going to put charms on, you might want to put like some embroidery floss hanging down so that you can, feed it through your charms. I'm putting this one on the eyelash trim. Yeah, and I don't remember who somebody said, oh, didn't think about putting eyelash trim. I love it because it makes it so fluffy. I use ribbon. I use torn up fabric strips. Did any of you buy from me at the last sale the real wide fabric trim? It was like the pastel. I don't see it down here. I tore up some of that today. That's what this is. It's that pastel fabric. Okay, so there's a little charm hanging down there. And let's see, what else do we want to put one on? I'll put one on this little green chenille looking ribbon. This one will be the dragonfly. Well, when all else fails, lick the end of it. Make it stick together. So there it is. How many of you have made tassels? Oh my gosh, I was so hyper last night. My husband was sick of hearing me say it. I was like, I am so pumped up. I worked all day in the kitchen and I had no pain because, when my knee was bad, I used to have to pull a stool up to the counter to spend any time up there. So there's a couple of charms. And let's see if I have one of these bigger beads that I don't have to put. Nope, they're all going to need a needle. So let me find a little needle here. Maiden, it would be your first time. Oh, you have, Diane. Oh, good. And there's so many different ways to do it. It's not a one size fits all kind of thing. There's different. This is just my take on it. And I'll show you, I also sometimes use metal. I use copper wire when making them. And on the next one, I'll do that. Let's see, where am I going to find something I can fit through a needle? You know what? I'm going to do it separately and then we'll just tie it in. So I'm going to take my needle, and I did split my thread, but that's okay. It'll still go through okay. And I'm going back to those little beads that Wendy sent because I loved them. This is why I bought them. Well, there's actually one other reason that I bought them, Wendy, but adding to tassels was certainly one of the reasons. So I'm going to take, come on. I'm going to take one of, and I've got my threads split, so they're going to look funny. But there we go. So I'm just going to take 3 of them, and I'm going to tie. So if you have little seed beads, do you guys have seed beads? Yeah, just little charms, little, okay, so I made this with the seed beads and I tied it, well, not seeds, they're square beads, but I tied them so they formed like a little triangle. Do you guys see that? And so now I'm just going to find a place in here and tie it together with another piece of thread so that it's, actually no, let me put it on this. There we go. Got a piece of yarn here, so we'll just tie it together and let it hang down. Again, if you know you're going to be putting charms on, I would put some thinner wire, and I did, or not wire, but threads in there, and I just didn't do it. And you can also, if you're afraid that the knot won't stay on this, you can take a little dab of glue and put on that knot, but there we go. I just tied it and there it is. It's got a little bead hanging down. So there is, and you could go through and cut it off exactly even. I like it off a little bit. You could put more charms on it. I'm going to move on to the next one because I want to keep going, but you've got a couple of charms in there. You've got ribbon, we've got fibers, we've got lace, there's lace in there, and then we've got a little bulb pin at the top to hook it on something. So what do you guys think? Wouldn't that look cute on a spring journal? All right, there's one. We'll get a few of these made and then the winner can pick which one they want. The next one I'm going to show you will have a little bit of wire in it. What color do we want to do next? What do you guys think? Oh, April, you can use them. You could string a whole long string. You could have, you could string a bunch and have a strand of just seed beads. In fact, when we pick our color, oh, hey, Susan. Okay. Misty, you want a grungy one? I'm going to go get some more seed beads. Hang on just a second. And I'm going to show you how to make a strand in your tassel of just seed beads. All right. I just grabbed some size 8s. I've got all different sizes, but this one was on the top. So we're going to do a grungy one. Let me find some seed beads. Here's some. They're kind of an olivey green, but they're iridescent. Here's a bronze. What else might work with grungy? Oh, here's a there's like a brown. Oh, and here, this is a pretty color. This is like a cranberry red. That's a dark red. So you guys tell me. We'll start off by making a strand of this will be fun. Yeah. So you guys tell me, of these seed beads, we could do 2 strands. Um what do you guys think? Which colors? Oh, I know, Shelley, because you didn't have a whole bunch purchased. I'm going to address all of those tomorrow morning. I got out the ones that had larger purchases. Yours was kind of small, so I didn't know if you wanted me to hold it till the next sale or go ahead and invoice you now, because shipping will be proportionately, um, larger than your payment. So that's why you haven't received it yet. But I will be getting with you. There's a couple people in the same boat, and I'll be getting with everybody tomorrow. The last 2 days, I have been working on my taxes, and they are done. So I feel no pressure now. I can just play, which is wonderful. All right. So what colors? The olive green. Okay. Those are square beads. Those will be fun. What other color? Hold it to the next set. Okay. Yeah, I know. I should have sent an email out by now, but I got busy with taxes and just other things that need to be done. I had to get that salsa made because my husband ran out of it. And last summer, when I was growing all the peppers and the tomatoes, by the time the harvest came in, I had my surgery in October and I was out of commission, with a brand new knee. I couldn't go stand in the kitchen and do any canning. Um, so I put everything in the freezer. Oh, good. Well, now I'm glad you're here. Hey, Emery. Well, be sure you subscribe. So, this particular session, I call it Craft and Grab because we're making tassels, and we've already made the first one right here, the girls, and this is audience participation, so you'll get a chance to weigh in on what we make. Girls wanted a springy one, so this is what we made for the first one. Now we're working on a grungy. Um, so you'll want to subscribe so that you get noticed when we do these again. I try to do a lot of fun things on my channel, but at the end of the night, what I was saying is that one person will pick a number, everybody will put in a number, and whoever wins will get to pick one of the tassels we made, and they get that as um, a gift for coming to the session. All right, so olive green, I've got a brown with sort of a lighter color in the middle. I've got a solid brown, I've got a dark red, and then I've got like a bronze. What other color? And I'll get started on this one. Oh, good. Yeah, that's why it's called craft and grab, because we craft and then you guys get to grab a gift. So this one will be a little on the grungy side. I got to get a knot going in here. And I probably don't need to put this on a black always looks good with grunge. I don't have any black out here, Susan, unfortunately. I'd have to go root through all my beads to find black. So I don't, let me just double check in this bag again. Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah, I don't have any black in this particular bag. Sorry. I just pulled one bag of seed beads out. And then the red. Okay. Oh, who picked the olive? All right, here we go. So I just have a little needle on this, and I'm just gonna string these beads on here. Now I'm gonna see if my knot's big enough to hold it, and if it's not, yep, then I was gonna just make a little loop there and tie it off. But it's long enough. So I'm just gonna string, this is how we'll make one of our threads be the green beads that'll be through the tassel. You can put anything on these tassels. I mean, think about the stuff that you have. If you have old junk jewelry or, um, the charms. I have, and one of the things I'm going to be making and selling in my sales and then also in my Etsy store is little copper charms. Oh my God, sometimes I'm making so much. Yeah, yeah, I'm just putting a needle through the hole and picking them up. Don't tell me you pick them up one at a time and put them on the needle. You are making a lot of extra work if that's how you're doing it, because, woo, that would be a lot of work. But yeah, I'm just picking them up. Yeah, I'm just stringing them. Just stringing them on here. Now I could have put some bigger beads in the middle. Well, that's why we do these craft and grabs. And I learned stuff too. Sometimes you guys have ideas that I hadn't thought of. And so please share your ideas if you have them. These particular ones are not seed beads, they're little square beads, but same idea. Okay, I think I'm going to tie it off here because we'll want part of it to be just the string at the top part, so that it lays right. I'll finish up what I have in my hand and then I'm going to tie this one off. And then we'll do the red one real quick. But you can use any kind of thread. You could use a wire if you have some real thin, like copper wire, and then just, loop it on the end so they don't fall off. You can, and I am going to do some stuff on copper wire here before we finish. So, um, you could put a charm at the end of this hanging down from the seed beads. You could put buttons if you have. In fact, I have a couple. Oh, I should have put one of these on the springy one. You see these great big buttons I have with the great big holes in them? You really can put whatever you want. You know what else would be really cute that I've thought about doing? If you're making a sewing journal, we're thinking my middle name. If you're making a sewing journal, what about taking a smaller zipper, not a huge one, but a small zipper and using it as one of the strands in the tassel? Wouldn't that be cute? Okay, there we go. So that's going to hang down and be part of our tassel. Now let's do the red. But yeah, I have a sewing journal on my list of things to make. So I may, yeah, it doesn't take that long. Come on. Everybody is talented. And that's the beautiful thing, is that we all have different creative ideas. And, I know there are people, because I've seen it, that if you do something, they'll come back at you and say, that was my idea first. You need to give me credit for it. I say bull hockey on that. There's no such thing as a new idea. All ideas have been done before, and nobody owns ideas. So if I do something and you think that it would look good in a project you make, I am more than happy to have you do the idea. I don't expect you to say anything about me because chances are I got it from somewhere else. Yeah, every once in a while I come up with my own ideas, but most of the time, yeah, I mean, most of the time we get our ideas from other places anyway, and nobody owns ideas. And I think people are just insecure sometimes about that kind of stuff. All right, here we go. These are smaller, but they'll go on just as fast. Uh-oh. Ah, my needle's too big for them. So I'm not going to use these because I don't want to have to go get another needle. The holes are too small for this needle. And when something goes wrong, everything can be fixed. That I know people get frustrated. I'm going to use I'm going to use these bronze ones. They'll add a little bit of bling. The holes are big enough to fit on my needle, I think. Yeah. And they'll add a little bit of shine. If I learn from someone, I say I watched the video and that's it. I don't want to hurt. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, if you want to give credit and say, hey, I was watching so and so and I learned this really neat thing, that's nice. I mean, people, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not required. And people who think it is, they need to, they need to go look up copyright laws because you cannot copyright an idea. I know a lot of people will say, my stuff's copyrighted. Well, oops, I know. I spilled those, didn't I? I have, in my time, spilled so many seed beads. I have spilled on the floor like a whole box of seed beads on a hardwood floor. You talk about a mess. Again, I don't get too hung up about most of that stuff at all. In that case, you get out the vacuum cleaner and you put like a mesh, like pantyhose or something, over the end of it. And then when you suck them up, they get caught in that. What I'm doing is putting that needle between my teeth so I can pull them through because it's real tight going through there. All right. All right, so we're going to do grungy. So we're going to do some browns and we did the olive green. So how about if we use some of this fiber? Because that's kind of a grungy fiber. Come on. These are smaller, so it's taking a little longer to get them on here. And, if you decide that you just want them at the ends, because when you turn it over, they're going to, maybe you just want beads right at the end. Definitely that green stuff. When I go to the thrift stores, I find these fibers and I just snatch them up because they're so much fun to use. And then I've got a lot of grungy colors of scarves that I've cut up too, so we'll pull some of that out. So is there anybody here? It says there's 18 and I don't see 18 people talking. Is there anybody here who hasn't said hello? Feel free to say hello and let us know you're here. All right, I'm going to stop there just because I don't want to do this all night. But you could fill up the whole string. You could fill up the whole thing and we'll just do part of it in the interest of time. And I hope that you guys take a stab at making some of these after tonight. because they're, everybody's, you've all got stuff, even if you, uh, yeah, we all have stuff. I mean, you have old ribbon, you have sari silk. You can use sari silk in this too. I didn't. Oh, I have one piece over there. Maybe we'll use it in the grungy one because it's like an off-white. All right. Just like that. Seed beads are all picked up, and I would guarantee you that there's still one or two hanging around. And what did I do with the lid? There it is. All right. So we have, let me tile knot here. Definitely going to try to make them. Oh, good. Well, if for those of you who don't know, I set up a Facebook page, not a group because I cannot handle having to monitor a group. Just not enough time. So I have a page though, and if you make some of these, I would love it if you would go and post some pictures on. And the Facebook page is just Ink Pulp. And that's where I'll be posting events as they're coming up. I mean, I'll still send you guys an email and stuff, but I'll put events up there, and I put links to my little videos. Some of you know that I've been doing a morning art before breakfast series where I get up and the first thing I do in the day is do something artistic. So there we go. So when we loop that, it's just going to have, some beads on it. That'll be part of what we put in our tassel. Okay. So we've got those. Put the seed beads aside. How about, oh, we said we wanted this, and I might want to put like 3 strands of this in there because it's really grungy. Can't stand these things on there. Is flip through of very first. Okay, there's that. What about it? So I'll just cut it. It's variegated. So here's how we're looking. Let's see what else of this ladder trim. Something guys. How about this for a grungy tassel? End of it. Robot again? Hang on one sec. I'll be right. Can you guys hear me now? It didn't work, whatever he did. I think you like the ground. I've also got, hang on. Oh, here.